Recently we've got the new movement changes implemented to the community test environment for Battlefield 1, and it's time for me to finally make a video about it. If you somehow managed to avoid all of the information about it, going over through the Reddits, Battlefield 1's forums and pretty much everywhere in Battlefield 1 community, DICE decided to nerf the slide spamming after more than a year since the game was launched. But I get it, they want to balance the game before launching incursions, so that then they can have a product which could compete with other competitive games. But it doesn't change the fact that the current system that they decided to implement to CTE isn't the greatest. If you haven't had a chance to try it out yet, basically, now, when you decide to slide, after you do it, you can't jump, you can't run, and you can't slide again. You are pretty much stuck in so-called cooldown before you can perform any other moves. Of course, it lasts only for like half of a second, but it still renders the sliding ability useless in the certain situations. And those certain situations being the ones that the enemies are involved in. Because during that cooldown, you are pretty much a sitting duck for them, and you are the easiest target that they could possibly get. And I know that there are some of you who are probably thinking right now that if this is a sliding nerf, then yeah, it's going to be worse. But it's not the point of the whole discussion. I do agree that we need some kind of nerf to the sliding mechanic, because every single day I play this game, I see people who are abusing it and sliding with the Automatico 24/7. The whole problem with the current fix though is that you can't really use slide anymore if you want to perform even basic things such as sliding to the guy that you want to revive. Because realistically, in a scenario where you choose to slide to the guy that you want to revive, you are probably not in the safest position yourself. You would normally want to slide, and during that slide perform a quick revive, and then as soon as the slide ends, you would run to some cover to avoid enemy bullets. It is one of the most basic tactics that pretty much everyone should use on the battlefield if they want to be a good medic. But guess what? After this patch was implemented, you can no longer do such thing, because once you slide, you are stuck and you have to wait till the so-called cooldown or something that's blocking you goes away, and then you can move. What's the result? Well, you're dead, and you can't do anything about it. And this is one of the most common mistakes that all of the players complaining about slide mechanics make when they ask Battlefield 1 developers to nerf it. They only seem to be noticing the negative aspects of the mechanic, and they don't pay any attention to how it became an essential part of their gameplay. The current state of sliding in CTE is so ridiculous that we could easily go as far as removing the sliding mechanic completely, because it doesn't work anyway. So now comes the question, how do we fix a problem of fix which was supposed to fix the problem, not fixing it in the first place? My suggestion, implement the nerf, but don't make it affect the first slide that you perform. To give you an example of how I see it, you can perform the first slide without any problems, you can run after it, you can jump, and you can slide again, but once you slide again, you have the nerf here. You can no longer jump, you can no longer sprint instantly, you have to wait for the cooldown to go away, and then your movement goes back to normal. And if this isn't possible in terms of game design and programming, of which I have zero idea about, just make it so that if you want to slide second time in a row, your character just crouches instead of sliding another time. And just put a 2 to 3 second cooldown that you need to wait out if you want to slide again. It's so simple. I don't want to sound arrogant, and if any of you guys designing the game is watching it, no offense, but I think that you are overthinking some of the stuff that you are trying to add to the game. It was exactly the same with reducing the explosive spam in the game. You did come up with the idea of Ammo 2.0, and I have to admit that the idea wasn't bad. The whole thing was that players didn't enjoy being a Houdini who had the nades appearing in his pockets every couple of seconds. But then again guys, you have already fixed the exact same issue in Battlefield 4. I know that the grenades were a bit different over there, but still, those tweaks could be applied and changed a bit so that they could fit Battlefield 1. I also get it that you designed Battlefield 1 before you fixed Battlefield 4. I completely get it. I have some idea of how the game designing works. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to complain, I'm not trying to insult anyone. I'm just trying to make a point that not all of the fixes actually have to be some crazy ideas. Those could just be as simple changes that would improve the gameplay and don't mess up thousands of other things. Anyway guys, that would be it for this video. Let me know down in the comments what do you think about all those new changes to the movement, and as always, if you enjoyed, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and I see you on the battlefield!